right. Good evening, everyone. Myself and the rest of the Island team would like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for choosing to spend your evening with us to discuss a product that is top of mind for many. My name is Susan Letty, and I am the manager of the Centralized Lending Department here at Island Federal Credit Union. Now let's take a look at what is on our agenda this evening. What does home equity actually mean, and how do lenders determine how much you have access to? How exactly can it be used to reach your financial goals? What is a home equity line of credit, or what we like to call a HELOC, and what are the specifics of this product? What is a home equity loan, and what is the difference from the home equity line of credit? The eligibility and application process, where we help you to determine if you qualify for the loan. The potential risks that you as a borrower need to be aware of. Why Islands is the right lender for you, and all of our tremendous perks for these particular products. And last but not least, our Q&A, where you get the opportunity to ask Tim and I any question you may have. As you can see, we do have a lot to cover this evening. However, we do expect the presentation to take approximately 30 minutes, allowing ample time to answer questions. As mentioned prior, my name is Susan, and I am the manager of the Centralized Lending Department. Also on the presentation this evening is Tim Aris, Island's Vice President of Retail Lending. Both Tim and I will be discussing these products in detail with you. Now let's begin by discussing what home equity actually is. Home equity is the difference between the amount you owe on a mortgage and or any other outstanding liens and what your home is worth based on its current market value. For example, if a home is worth 600,000 and the mortgage owed is 200,000, the home equity amounts to 400,000. The amount of equity in your home can grow over time as you make mortgage payments and as the property's value increases. The best way to determine what your home's current market value is by obtaining an appraisal. Typically, you can borrow up to 80% or more of your home's equity depending on a few factors. However, Island Federal does offer a program that can allow you to borrow up to 100% if you qualify. As you can see on the screen, this is available for primary residence, single family homes with a maximum loan amount of 250,000. Lastly, it's very important to choose the right product, either a home equity line of credit or a fixed rate home equity loan that fits your financial needs best. I will go into more detail regarding these two in just a few moments. A common question that consumers have is, why tap into home equity for cash? Home equity is an asset that you can borrow against to meet your most important financial needs. The first advantage is that home equity loans typically have lower interest rates than your normal credit cards and personal loans, saving you money over time. The second advantage is potential tax benefits by allowing for a possible mortgage interest tax deduction. However, it is most important to consult with your tax advisor before making any borrowing decision for this purpose. Lastly, home equity loans provide you with flexible funding for not only life goals, but for potential emergencies as well. Now let's take a look at the many great ways you can utilize the equity in your home to allow your dreams to become reality. The first and most popular use would be for home improvements and renovations. This can range anywhere from those small projects, such as installing new floors or repainting, to those larger projects, such as kitchen renovation, an extension, or even creating your new backyard paradise. Another popular use would be for debt consolidation or paying down those high interest personal loans and credit cards. As you all may know, credit card rates, along with credit card debt, is at an all time high. Tapping into your home equity for this purpose could lead to lower rates along with lower monthly payments. Parents also tend to tap into their home equity when it's time to send the kids to college. Lastly, most borrowers like to have an access to an emergency fund. As homeowners, you are probably all well aware of those unexpected expenses that can arise at any time, such as needing to replace the boiler or even your roof. Ooh, looks like I'm frozen here, but there we go. All right. One type of loan that can be utilized to access the equity in your home would be a home equity line of credit, or better known as a HELOC. A HELOC is simply a revolving line of credit based on your home's equity. This product has a variable interest rate that is typically tied to prime rate. A HELOC is great for flexible borrowing as you can access the funds when you need them and only pay for those funds you access. For example, if the credit line limit is 100,000 and you only take out and spend 35,000, you will only have to pay back that 35,000. This is the best type of product for ongoing expenses such as home improvements, education, and emergency funds as we discussed prior. Another product that is available to utilize the equity in your home is a home equity loan. The difference between this type of product and the HELOC is that this product offers a lump sum of money given to you upfront at the origination of the loan instead of offering that revolving line. A basic home equity loan has a fixed interest rate and monthly payments for the length of the term that you choose. This product is ideal for those large one time expenses such as home improvements, medical bills, or debt consolidation. Now let's focus a bit more on the home equity line of credit. As you can see from this chart, the HELOC offers a competitive introductory rate, a 240-month term, a no closing cost option, and an ability to finance up to 100% of the market value of your home, minus any outstanding mortgages and or liens. Now let's go into a bit more detail in the next slide. Island Federal is currently offering a competitive introductory rate as low as 5.89% APR. In order to get this intro rate, you will need to maintain the minimum balance requirement for the first 12 months of the loan. Once this 12-month intro period is up, your rate will be determined based upon your FICO score and disclosed at account opening. Island is also offering a no closing cost option if you maintain that same minimum balance requirement for the first 36 months of the loan. This minimum balance requirement is determined by the size of the line that you are approved for. Please just keep in mind that the no closing cost option is only available for lines up to 500,000 and on lines for primary residences in Nassau or Suffolk County only. Please also note that the no closing cost option does not cover the cost of appraisal if required. Our HELOC has a term of 20 years or 240 months in total with a 10-year draw period. This means that you can pull funds as you need during this draw period and pay interest only on the funds you borrow. And remember, here at Island Federal, you can borrow up to 100% of your home's value, less any outstanding liens if you qualify. There are two types of HELOCs that you can apply for. The first is the standard principal and interest repayment. This product has a monthly payment that is equal to interest or finance charges that accrue each month in addition to a principal paydown. The amount applied to principal each month becomes available for future use. The second is our interest only option. With this line, you have the ability to make interest only payments for the first 5 years of the loan. This provides you with the opportunity for a lower monthly payment during this time if that is what fits your financial needs best. Once that 5 year period is up and at the beginning of that sixth year, your payment will be amortized to repay the balance at the current APR over the time remaining to maturity. You also have the ability to pay towards the principal at any time. The home equity loan, on the other hand, is a fixed rate product that has a set payment each month for the term you choose. A home equity loan offers terms ranging anywhere from 12 months all the way to 240 months. This product, unlike the HELOC, has a fixed interest rate, which results in a fixed monthly payment. Those who prefer knowing what they will be paying each month typically lean towards this product. Island Federal is currently offering a no closing cost option on this product as well, excluding the cost of the appraisal as mentioned prior, if you keep the loan open for at least 36 months with automatic payment from your Island Federal checking account. Island Federal also has the option of obtaining a balloon fixed rate home equity loan. This loan is available with a fixed interest rate for 5 years. With this product, your payments will be calculated or amortized over a 240-month term. You will continue payments for 5 years or 60 months, and payment in full of the outstanding balance will be due on the 61st month. However, you do have the option of refinancing the loan with us at that time. This balloon option offers lower rates but does not have a no closing cost option. Typically, those who are looking to sell and are in need of a bridge loan, in other words, in need of the equity in their current home in order to purchase a new home, will utilize this product. Now let's move on to talk a little bit more about the eligibility requirements and the application process. In order to be considered for a home equity loan, all applicants should have sufficient home equity. This means that the home value must be sufficient to cover this requested loan in addition to any other liens or mortgages against the property. In addition, having a good credit score is key. This will allow you to take advantage of lower rates and to have a higher probability for approval. Stable income and a low debt to income ratio are also key factors in determining eligibility. Here at Island, we must ensure you are able to afford the new loan being requested in addition to all other outstanding debts you may have. Finally, you must meet our member eligibility requirements. We have a broad range of eligibility criteria, so the chances of qualifying are very strong. The application process is fairly simple and can be completed in person with one of our member service representatives or right online at islandfcu.com. If you choose to apply, you will be required to submit proof of income, a copy of your recorded deed, and a copy of your most recent property tax bill. For the HELOC, this is required at application, and for the home equity loan, this would be required at the time you choose to elect to move forward by signing the intent to proceed. However, you do have the ability to provide the documentation at the time of applying to move the process along quicker. Once everything is submitted to our home equity department, we will have a decision for you within 3 business days. The typical turnaround time for this whole process could take between 2 to 4 weeks, depending on a couple of factors, such as if an appraisal is needed, and most importantly, the results of the title search. Although a home equity loan has its tremendous perks, there are also a few risks that you as a borrower should be aware of. While you can use home equity to build wealth, a home equity loan can also put your property at risk. Because the home secures the loan, defaulting on payments could lead to the lender foreclosing on your property. Another risk is that your home's value can fluctuate over time due to market changes. If the value of your home decreases, you could end up owing more than your home is worth, often referred to as being underwater on your loan. Lastly, we do our absolute best here at Island Federal to provide no closing cost options. However, you may need to pay out of pocket for an appraisal if needed, or pay for all closing costs if certain requirements are not met. Lastly, let's discuss why a home equity product from Island is the right choice for you. Not only does Island offer competitive interest rates, but we also offer fast approvals to get you your money as quickly and as smoothly as possible. Lastly, we are always here to guide and support you through this entire process from the application to closing and beyond. We fully understand how overwhelming this process may seem, but we can assure you that you will make it, that Island will make it as stress-free as possible. Sorry. Our knowledgeable and friendly team here at Island Federal would love the opportunity to help you make this important financial decision with confidence.